Hey guys, I'm back with another track guide. Today we're in the global Mazda fixed setup. We're at Oulton Park Island, which for my money is one of the trickier layouts here at Oulton Park. It's going to be a great week of racing, tricky, but very, very rewarding. If you find this useful, please do give it a like, please do subscribe and hit that little bell to get notified every time I release a new video or go live for the live stream, which I'm doing quite regularly on a Thursday and a Sunday and some other times as well. Don't forget to download my ghost car and drive against me and see where you might be able to make up some time. And if you really, really want to delve into the data, you can become a YouTube channel member and get access to my virtual racing school team, where you can actually, via a web browser, compare your laps to mine like for like, see where the braking is, where the accelerator is, where the turn in is, and loads of other data points that are really, really useful. Just have a look, click that join button and look at the perks. There's quite a few others as well. And if it's of interest, then check it out. All right, guys, best of luck. Let us know how you're getting on in the comments below. And if I don't see you before, I might well see you out there on the track. Cheers. Okay, guys, here I go with the breakdown of my 1 minute 35 384 here at Oulton Park Island. There was more time on the table, but I was quite happy with the lap. It was tidy, and we're approaching turn one. Now, don't forget, this is a fixed setup race, and the weather conditions are exactly as they are for racing this week. So everything is as it should be. Now, we're tight to the left, and we can see this poster on the left hand side. Just as that starts, we're going to start our braking, and we're just going to brake sort of reasonably lightly, and then we're just going to come down to third gear. So we're holding that trail for a good amount of time, and then we're back on the gas nice and early so that we can pick up the curb towards the end, and that's really important to make the exit here. Now you can use a good bit of this over track, but you can only use it from a certain point. So if I actually got on it further back, then that would be an off track. So now we're holding over to the left slightly because we need to approach the next corner nice and straight. So we've got a late turn in here, so that now we're nice and straight because we need to get on the brakes in a second. Now there's a little dip in the track just ahead. And just as that dip's about to start, we're going to have a similar amount of braking as turn one, but we're going to hold it a little bit longer. And so just as we go down the dip, we're holding that trail brake, we're holding, and we need to be nice and tight to the inside here. And as you can see, we're in line with the alternate layout here. And that's the point that you really need to be back on the gas, and you need to be back on the gas reasonably firmly. So you've got to be tight on the inside. And the other reason you need to be super tight on the inside here is because it just gives you very little leeway for going over the white line here on the right hand side. Super easy to pick off tracks there. So now the car's going to come over to the left, and this is probably the trickiest corner on this layout because the braking marker is just not very clear. But what you can see here is on the left hand side, we've got this sort of patch of brown dirt by the tyre wall, and that's what I'm going to use as my marker. It's a horrible marker, frankly, but that's what we've got. And we're going to brake very heavily, full threshold braking. Notice how the car's still positioned right over to the left hand side. We need to widen the entry as much as we can through this hairpin. And now we're down to first gear. We gave it a blip, although for some reason it didn't register on the overlay there. I don't know why. But it's important to blip in first gear. Less important when you're still going in a straight line, but still quite important. And then we've started our turn in as we've really come out of the brake there. And then we're out of the brake. We're just turning the car right now. And we're absolutely at the tightest point of this corner. And we need to be right in on the inside. And then we're back up through the gears, down the back straight, or one of the back straights. And we're looking at the boards, and we want the gap between the 100 and the 50 board and a little bit closer to the 50 board. We're going to start our braking, again, keeping the car over to the left, full threshold braking. We're going to come down to first gear. There's the blip. And we want to get really tight to this tyre stack on the right-hand side. And then we're going to give it some throttle, only about 50, 60, 70%, because then we need to come out the throttle again to get the car to hook in, to get really tight to this next tyre wall where we can build up the throttle gradually. Notice how I only came out to mid-track there. That's really important because we need to set up the next corner. And if you take too much speed around the second tyre stack there, you're going to push yourself too wide and you're going to ruin your entry to the next corner, which is super important because there's quite a long period of flat out. You're going to lose too much time. So you need to sacrifice that corner to make good on this one. So we're up to second gear now, and then we're going to drop out around about here to get the car to really, really push in to the right, to really rotate. I was a little bit quick on the throttle there, so I had to drop out and come back in. But ultimately, I'm in the right position. I'm carrying a good amount of speed, which is really important here. So we're tight to the inside. We're back on the throttle. You can go over this curb a little. And then we're just straight lining it up towards the bridge, tight to the inside here, gunning back up. And then we're going to let the car float out to the right here because we need to be nice and straight for the next corner. So a late turn in so that we're nice and straight here. And you'll notice as we're approaching, we've got a change in surface ahead. About a car length before that, I'm going to brake. We're going to come down to third and then get the car to turn in. Notice how long that trail brake was. That's really important to keep the rear in check and to keep the car nice and stable and just burn as much speed as we need. And then you'll notice that before the end of this curve, I'm already building up the throttle. I built it up quite steadily here because I didn't brake quite enough on entry. You can actually really get the gas down there if you time it right. And then we're going to get ourselves back up to fourth, ready for the final corner, one of the most important corners on the track. And you'll see after the right-hand signal here, we've got a patch of dirt on the track just here. And then when the car's on it, I'm going to brake heavily, full threshold braking. We're down to second. We're blipping to first. And we're getting the car to rotate right onto this inside curb. And you'll notice that I'm not even on the curb yet, but I'm already in the accelerator. And that's really important to push the speed over. You're only going to be in first very briefly. Don't miss that turn to second. And we've got a good bit of exit curb there to use. And then we're staying tight to the left to bring us back over the line to complete our 1:35.384 here at Oulton Park Island in the Global Mazda. I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, give it a like. Please do subscribe and hit that bell. to stay up to date with my latest videos and live streams. And if you're interested in really delving down into the data, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel membership by just clicking that join button below to seeing what the perks are. There's a few really useful ones there that I think might really help you out if you're interested. Have a great week of racing. Let us know how you're getting on in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you out there on the track. Cheers, guys.